jolly good.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clank Zoka, and welcome to another My Thoughts On. So, I just got back from seeing a new Lin-Manuel Miranda movie musical called In the Heights. And by the time you're watching this, I watched it yesterday, so yeah. So, I didn't have any plans to see this movie because I'm not the biggest musical fan. Unless it's Disney or La La Land, and with Disney I would say Moana, Frozen, Lion King, Aladdin. There are lots of great musicals, but a lot of them, like Greatest Showman and the Mamma Mia movies, are just abruptly obnoxious and repetitive. Greatest Showman is okay, grossly overrated. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, and the first movie are annoyingly girly. But with this one, even though I didn't have plans to see it, I heard it was really, really good. Ratings, everything really. It all seems rather promising, you know. So I thought, okay, I guess I'll have a little look at this film. It's directed by John M. Chu, who directed Crazy Rich Asians, which I haven't seen. I should have. Damn it. I haven't watched the stage musical, by the way. I haven't even watched Hamilton, for that matter, as well. So, yeah, I have seen Miranda in the other stuff as well, but it's only like small roles, like Mary Poppins Returns, which is a great musical, by the way. He was in DuckTales as he played Fenton, but he also played he played that robot duck. I can't remember his name. Oh, I forgot. He also wrote the songs for Moana as well. So he's a very talented bloke. So what's In the Heights about then? Well, the best way I can describe it is it's about these four main characters. You've got, I'm going to try and pronounce their names as correctly as I can. You've got Yuznavi, played by Anthony Ramos, who works at a shop, and he dreams of going to an island or somewhere, or an old place where his dad lived and owned. You've got Benny, played by Corey Hawkins, and his goal is, I can't remember. Nina, played by Leslie Grace, who looks an awful lot like Tessa Thompson, or is it Tessa Thompson? No, I think it's Tesla. She dreams of just going to get a degree in college, but his father doesn't have the right money and support. And Vanessa, played by Melissa Barrera. Again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing them or anything like that. I'm sorry. She wants to get her own flat, and there are other people in the Heights, or Washington Heights, but you got like all these other people who have their own like goals and problems too, and then they all come together in this one big cheery musical until something happens, and then they start to think of better ways to get on with their lives. And that's kind of the best way to describe it. Also, if anyone's seen the movie, and I'm not going to do the whole it's a good, bad, decent, do you want to see it thing, I'm saving it at the end, but is it me or was the film quite quiet? Obviously it's a musical and it's going to be loud and everything, but the scenes where the characters are talking, when the music's playing, is it me or did the music seem louder than the actors speaking? Like about a good 60-50%, I couldn't hear jack of what the people were talking about. Granted, from their expressions and their acting, I can kind of get a good idea, but I couldn't make heads or tails of what they were talking about because the music, in case you didn't notice, is too loud. I'm not complaining about the music or anything, but I couldn't really tell what was going on. Either it's the film or the cinema I was in, which I saw it at the Light. One of my favourite cinemas. obviously. So there are times I couldn't really follow the story because it was either too quiet or too loud. I mean, the rest of the time I can hear them fine, but it's just during the musical numbers. Even when they're singing, I can't hear them. I can only hear everyone else sing, except for the singer, he or she self. So yeah, with that said, the story of the movie seems to be very basic. If you think about it, it's people getting on with their lives, meeting new people, getting together, singing a nice little song. Something goes wrong, and then they have to move on. It's probably one of the more realistic stories for a musical. Usually there's like, happy endings, everyone gets what they want. I mean, the film kind of does that, but not in the sense that you would think, like, oh, he's going to get, well, our main character wants like an island. You know what's going to happen. Some of the other characters do kind of get what they want, but not exactly in the right way, or in the same way that you think would happen, So the key thing about the movie is the musical numbers, and I never thought I'd say this, but this is actually one of those musicals where the musical sequences, although they can sometimes be a little bit annoying, just a little. There were stages in the film where I thought this was going in the same territory as Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. It was going in places where I thought, oh no. I was like, please don't do this. It didn't work in Mamma Mia or Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. It's these three ladies, Daniela, Carlo, and Cuca, played by Daphne Rubin Vega, Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Duska Polanco. Those three characters are the reason why I thought this film wasn't going to work, because they were like similar to who are the two comic reliefs from Mamma Mia? I know one of them was Julie Waters and the other one was, I can't remember her name. Hang on, let me look it up quickly. Hang on. Mamma Mia. Oh, excuse me. Just 1 second, please. No, it's too late. Oh, here we go. Christine Baranski. Though the film almost fell into that kind of thing. There's even a scene that, like, I think it's like a beauty parlor, hairdresser's wife. Thought, yeah, now you're turning into Mamma Mia. Not quite as annoying as that film, but this film was almost stepping into that territory. But besides that, the musical numbers are actually a lot of fun, creative, and the songs themselves are catchy, and the locations they go to are creatively, wonderful to look at, and you can really get into the rhythm of it as well. The film, for the most part, is not bad for a story. It takes itself at a pretty balanced tone. Humour's nothing amazing. It's quite cute and funny, and there are some very funny lines in the movie as well, and I did laugh, I think, 4 or 5 times. And dramatically, it's also done really well. There's a scene... This happens in these sorts of films. Someone dies or whatever, and you can tell it. They don't directly tell you like how it happened or if they are dead, but you can tell from the actors' expressions, like how they feel. You can tell something bad's happened, and that's fucking great. We don't need people going like, she's dead or he's dead. Granted, I get it. You're telling people that someone's dead, but show, don't tell, and the film does that. It does that really well, and the film's realistic tone is done pretty well. If you remove all the musical numbers with walking on buildings and people just acting insane around all these characters, just getting into these poses, then it acts like a pretty real movie, for the most part anyways. The only criticism I have is that even though I do have a good understanding of what the film's about, there were times, And it has nothing to do with the loud music. It's just I didn't quite know what was going on, and that's mainly because there was a little bit too much going on. There's the four main characters. Obviously, there is a you know, love interest for these characters, and they sing a song, hold hands, kiss, and all that, and that's fine. Then you got one of them trying to think of a better life in this, and again, too much going on. I don't know if it. I haven't seen the stage musical, so I assume it was in that. I guess I don't know. It's not particularly balanced out well, but I understood it enough. Well, what did you expect from a storytelling musical? I mean, it's not awful or bland. It's good. At least it tries to be more down to earth than wacky and stupid. Granted, it does almost fall into the category of Mamma Mia 1 and 2, and even Greatest Showman, in terms of being very standardly annoying and tedious, almost, but it has its own identity with the story. Not as good as, like, excuse me, as La La Land, which I think is the greatest standard in masterpieces of musicals. This one, in terms of story, not quite, but it's on the right track, and it tries to tell it in a more down to earth and and relatable way in its emotions and goals, which really works. I thought it really worked in that aspect, and the humor's not bad, and it's not really a comedy. I would say it's more like a drama musical, but the humor does have some good laughs. So not exactly perfect in the heights, but close to the heights, I suppose. Trying to make a bloody joke about heights, and it isn't working, let me tell you. I had a drink. Oh, excuse me. Visuals. Now this was what I was looking forward to, because this film looks very, very good. It takes place in Washington Heights and also in New York. I don't know if Washington Heights is in New York, but it looks gorgeous. Any film, like I said before, in Luca, Finding Nemo, Dory, any film with sun, blue sky, and water, oceans, swimming pools, you name it, is a bonus, is always a plus for me. And this film, while it doesn't look as good as said films, it looks great. It looks gorgeous. It's well shot, and the musical numbers are colourful, creative, and dazzling for the eyes, along with some pretty nice colourful effects too in the musical numbers as well. It's a great looking movie, and it doesn't look poor or anything. It just looks just right, just right. Again, La La Land did it better, but this film, at the very least, looked very, very nice. There was not one moment where I thought it looked horrible. I wasn't disappointed by the cinematography or anything. Even the effects, as little as there were, from what I can gather, is also good as well. It looks good. It's a very well-made movie. Who would have thought it? Characters and acting. The characters in the movie are likeable. They're very likeable. And they're not likeable to the point where they would be too nice or too, or they're going to act too nice and at one point they're going to do something bad. It's not like P.T. Barnum, who I thought was not that nice of a character in The Greatest Showman, and he is kind of a dick. At least the main character, Yuznavi, again, is that how you pronounce his name? I don't know. I would say he's the main character overall. I thought he was a likeable bloke, a very likeable lad. His goal is understandable. He seems very upbeat and chill as well. And he seems to be that one character who gets along with everyone. Even if people are down, he seems to try and be as cheery and upbeat as he can. And I thought he was genuinely likeable. And the other three main characters, like Benny, Nina, and Vanessa. Benny, I don't remember that much about. Not that he was horrible, but I thought he didn't really stand out. Nina, I thought was perfectly understandable and good for a character like her. And Vanessa is a pretty likable love interest for Yuznafi, and their chemistry and relationship is good. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. You got other characters in the film too. You got Nina's dad. You got Abula, who's like the caretaker and like the one who's, I guess, respected in the in the blocks. You know, in the heights. Yeah. You got the three girls from before. You got Daniela, Carla, and Kuka. Or Kuka. How do you pronounce her name? I don't know. Them three, they could have been like Christine Brasaki or Julie Walters in Mamma Mia, but they're actually not obnoxious. Granted, they almost become obnoxious, but actually they're fine. They're funny, and they do get some pretty funny lines every now and then, and you know, their presents are nothing special, but they're fine. Even Lin-Manuel Miranda plays a very small role as I forgot what his character did. He sold like something. He got one funny scene involving an ice cream man, which was very, very funny. Everyone else either just plays a key role, whether in terms of what these characters have to do and what they're told to do, as well in meeting them. Others are just kind of there for the musical numbers, and everyone does good. They do a really good job. Need I say more? The acting from everyone is great. I thought Anthony Ramos, I thought he was fantastic. I thought his performance was really outstanding. He seemed believable. He seemed like he was really into his role. The guy seems nice. He seems like a really nice actor. I thought he was fucking terrific. Same with Melissa Barria. She was good, and I thought her singing voice was quite beautiful. As for Leslie Grace and Corey Hawkins, they were very good too. Leslie, I thought, really stood out, as well as being quite dramatic, but good dramatic. She was great. Everyone else does their roles very well, and I think they're very well chosen for what they're supposed to do, you know. Stephanie Beatrice is pretty great, pretty funny, but not... She doesn't have a lot of lines, so, yeah. Lin-Manuel Miranda, like I said, he's pretty good, despite how short his role is. Everyone does a good job, but it's just them four that do make the film a ton of fun, and they make their performances quite believable enough. The characters may seem like they just blend into the musical crowd, but the main characters are likeable, relatable, they have chemistry with each other, and they're nice. Along with some pretty damn good acting from everyone. It's no wonder these guys are in the heights. I really need to stop with those heights joke. Okay, the musical songs are pretty good. Yep, that's all I've got to say. There wasn't a song in the film that stood out. There was one about a lottery number. I think it was like 69,000 or something. That was a bit catchy. A lot of them are catchy, but not like memorably catchy, but just like, oh, they have a nice beat and they do sound very nice. So I can't really fault them for that, since they do sound better than The Greatest Showman in a way, kind of. But yeah, the musical songs are very good, and they're very, you know, upbeat, and they got good rhythm and style, but just not particularly a standout, or like La La Land or anything like that. Never thought I'd say this. At least this didn't suck. In the Heights may not be a great movie, but it's a good enough musical for someone to watch it all the way through and be kind of... I'll start that again. To be satisfied with it. Visually, the film looks gorgeous. The musical numbers are are tons of fun and creative. The characters are likable. The acting is superb. Story's basic, but at least it doesn't quite go in the same realm as like all these other musicals and like simple slice of life stories. And the music, the songs are pretty good. So yeah, this movie was good. Didn't mind. It wasn't mind blowing since it kind of almost goes into the stereotypical musical route, and it is kind of a hard film to follow, both in terms of how quiet the people are talking and how loud the music is, and just kind of there's too much going on, the three girls can be a little bit annoying, but they're mostly kind of funny. So it was good. I know there's more positives than negative, and you would expect this to be like what, a 9, possibly a 7. That's kind of hard to say, really. If you like Lin-Manuel, I can't pronounce his second part of his name. Lin-Manuel Miranda's musicals. Give it a watch. I haven't seen Hamilton, and I will watch that at some point, just not now. If you like musicals, you will probably enjoy this fine. If you hate them, you probably won't get into them. So, I mean, there are more things in it that I like, but besides that, there are things that I thought kind of dragged on in terms of musicals, and this film was like 2 hours and like slightly over 2 hours long, so it's not dragging on, but there were points where I thought the film kind of should have stopped and ended, and I will admit there are a few songs in the film, very few songs that I thought were kind of getting a little bit grating and a little bit unnecessary, which kind of takes down the experience for me and all that. So 7.2 out of 10. It's on the right track to be a good musical, but it's no La La Land. But I will happily take this over Greatest Showman, Mamma Mia, and Mamma Mia 2 any day. It's better than them, but even I take Mary Poppins Returns over this. So there you go. In the Heights, I was kind of pleasantly surprised by it. I wouldn't go out my way to buy the DVD or watch it again, which I don't think I will, because it's not that interesting to me anyways. But it's a good film. Good film. And I wouldn't say it's like a kid's film. It's very PG, but will kids really get into it? There was mostly... I mean, the film... When I saw it, there was like more people than the father. I think there was only a few for the father. There wasn't that many people, which I was fine with, but it's like... Yeah. So there you go. In the Heights. Next week, I've got last requests to do. A lot of them are interesting, to say the least. So yeah. If you have seen In the Heights, what did you think about it? Is it good, bad, decent? Do you want to see it? Let me know below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, bye for now.